morning, right here on the After Sports Show. I still remain your priest of football, Emeka Madoke, aka Femelo. And it's slight change up today in the mix-up. We're gonna have Sissy the Rival on the on the co-host seat today, and KP will be on the guest seat for today. But let's get down to the nitty-gritty. And Npfl is looking tighter now after this last round of results. I want to get your thoughts on that, Sissy.
Well, thank you very much, Prince of Football, and then of course we have KP here. It's really great to know that, I've been saying it time without number in the past, and I think my claims have been justified, that one of the most competitive leagues in the world of football, if not the most competitive league, has to be the Npfl. So the Nigerian Premier Football League has military terms that we look at every week, and the fact that it's shaping up now after 14 games. Now, I know that 14 games is still too early because, like I always say, a league season, a league campaign is not a sprint but a marathon. So you have to, in a marathon, the focus is not speed per se, but stamina. So how much stamina do the teams that are responsible have? How much stamina do they have? So you see the results that are up there.
Yeah, those are the results right there.
Just there, on Wednesday we saw a lot of wonderful games there. The standout game there had to be the Rangers game against Lobby Stars, where of course somebody was talking about the Bulls don't play football, Bulls don't play football. That was very, very heartbreaking for Daniel Mogachi and his boys. But I can't help but I can't hold back the
excitement,
the excitement, because Indigo Rangers, the Flying Antelopes, are doing a fantastic job right now. It's just 14 games, so let's not get ahead of ourselves. But with those 3 goals scored there, they've justified their claims of having the best defense last season. We complained. Like, I remember when we had a meeting with the press briefing just this past week with the chairman, the CEO of Indigo Rangers, that is Barrister Obiozako. And there were many concerns that were raised. We asked some questions that were there. I remember vividly asking the issue of the defensive worries of Rangers, because as at the time, Indigo Rangers are considered 10 goals. 10 in 13 games. And that's not acceptable for a team that had the best defense last season. Yeah, they scored 13 goals as at the time, now with 16 goals. And I always talk about the fact that leaking goals and lacking goals are a double tonic for disaster in football. But Rangers, I think they've turned the corner a little bit. They've started scoring goals now. That was against Lobby Stars, bitter rivals, traditional rivals, you can see that. And looking at the table, you see the Flying Antelopes are sitting pretty in third, just 3 points off the pace.
Which leads me to my question, actually, there. And I want to throw this question to you, KP. Looking at how the table is from the first down to, let's say, 7th, it's looking pretty tight. I mean, it's just a few points separating each team. I mean, at first we have Remo Stars with 3 points clear, joint with Rivers United on top of the table. Rangers in 23 points. You've got El Kanami Warriors 22, Ikorodu FC 21, Eimba 20, Kwara United 20. It's looking tight. And this is kind of building up to the shape of the Serie A table. I know we were discussing this just before the show started, but I want to get your thoughts. Do you think it could be as tight as the Serie A table is going right now to the end of the season?
Just to strengthen the points of Sissy the Rabbi, the Npfl is one of the most competitive leagues in the world. And we can see here, the difference between the first team and the 6th team is just 6 points. It's actually just crazy. Just 2 wins away from being top as being the 6th team on the league. But I also like to strengthen that in football, I have a belief that the coach is the most important factor. And we can see that with the top 3 teams. I feel those are the 3 best coaches in the league. It's evident in the style of play and everything there. The Rivers United, we have Remo Stars, and we have Enugu Rangers. And these are 3 amazing coaches that are doing so well for Nigerian football, taking Nigerian football to the next level. And it's good to see the table shaping up the way it is so far. I just hope it encourages Nigerian fans to go out there, keep supporting their teams. One thing that I would like to echo with Nigerian football, I feel it shouldn't always be a derby for us to turn up to the stadium to support our teams, because there's this argument all the time. Oh, if there's an EPL match going on, there's not going to be much turnout in the stadiums. But I just want to use this opportunity to encourage Nigerian fans to go and support their local teams, because we have a wonderful product.
I mean, we do have a wonderful league, and we do need the fans to turn up in numbers so that this league can get the traction it needs globally, not just within Africa, but like in Europe and general. We need a lot of people eyes on this league. We need people knowing that, okay, the Npfl has a lot to offer. We've got a lot of key exciting players within the league. that maybe the world needs to watch out for one or two. You get that kind of thing. But just to go back to the interview we had, the press briefing we had at Rangers, there was a question that was thrown up whether Fidelis Electrical is going to be remaining as the head coach. And Barrister Amelby said that he has said his word that he'll be here at least most to the end of the season. Yeah. And Electrical has also given his word that he will be here so far he's there. Mm-hmm. So are we looking at maybe if the season ends and Amelby leaves, Electrical will be leaving as well? Are we getting that kind of vibe from Rangers right now? Or do you feel like there's hope for them to stay for seasons to come?
You know, in my own opinion, this is a case of ifs, buts, and maybes. One of my philosophies in life is to expect the best, but to anticipate the worst at the same time. So it's not like it's going to be the end of the world if Coach Fidelis Electrical leaves the helm of affairs, that is, in the dugout of Indigo Rangers. That would be a massive blow, but that's not what we're hoping for. Likewise, Barrister Amobi Ezeaku, who is the chairman of the CEO and chairman of Rangers Corporation, Rangers Management Corporation generally, he's somebody who has been instrumental into the success that Rangers have enjoyed over the years. He was part of the squad that won the 7th Npfl title then in 2016, and then that was even the same year he became the general manager. So 8 years on, he's been there, and those 8 years, yeah, there have been ups and downs, we know about that, but this 8th year, winning an 8th title, it's all about 8 title, and it's just a wonderful thing. He has governed Indigo Rangers very, very well. He has governed the Rangers family very well, and really, for him to say what he said, because nobody knows tomorrow, an offer, like the Godfather would say, make him an offer he cannot refuse. It's not like we're saying that we want him to leave. No, we want Barrister Amobi Ezeaku to remain there because of what he stands for, because of the support he's given the team, the boys, everybody is like a family. And we saw that it's not just about being there for the interview. We've known this for quite a while, and he just confirmed it. But, let's just keep our fingers crossed and watch what will happen. The season has not ended. It's really just 1/3. Well, 1/3 into the season, just 1/3 of the season has gone. We need to wait till the end of the season before we start figuring out our
the panic attacks.
Yeah, let's just calm down. Calm down. Rangers fans will be calming down.
Well, I mean, it really is insightful. We do hope they stay for many more seasons to come. Yes. We really do hope this isn't the final dance, like they say. But we do need to go on a quick commercial break, and after that, we'll be taking stories from the PL and other leagues around. Stay tuned. All right, you're welcome back to the Affair Sports Show. And I guess I didn't get the memo on time because, as we can all see, I'm the only one without the jersey here. But I mean, we do have the EPL to discuss, and they are they are waving their club flags right out. But we do have fixtures coming up, and the title race has been blown open in the Premier League. Mr. CC and KP. Brighton have been moved up into second after the draw against Southampton yesterday, which means with a win from Arsenal and Chelsea, City could drop to 5th place at the end of the table, at the end of this weekend. As if they lose to Liverpool. But I want to get your thoughts, KP, before I come to Mr. CC. Liverpool, is anyone catching Liverpool this season? I mean, 31 points out of 12 games already.
Something about Manchester City is something that's happened in our subconscious. That
just to add to the question, yeah. I mean, they're not just on top in the Premier League, they're on top of the Champions League as well.
Yeah.
Is anyone stopping them across Europe this season?
Exactly. What I wanted to allude to is, as we speak now, Manchester City are not in second place, but something's going to happen. Even if they drop to 5th, as you said, this weekend, people are still going to have them in mind as the biggest competitor for Liverpool. I know an Arsenal fan may disagree and say they're in the mix, and well, I agree with you. You're in the mix, but
I don't know why you're calling them. The fun I'm wearing the jersey. I can neither confirm or deny. Look,
that's that clean. What I was trying to say is, people are still going to see Manchester City as the top competitor. But the game this weekend is a very big one for Pep Guardiola and for all involved. We can see from everything that happened within the week, he's feeling the pressure. You can't deny he's feeling the pressure. Whether you believe it was self-harm or he was just throwing bands, he is feeling the pressure. And it's very important to note that Liverpool, when we saw them against Madrid midweek, we saw a team that looked like champions. They played Madrid as if Madrid were a mid-table side. Yeah, mid-table side in the EPL. So it's very lovely to see a title race like this, and I'm just glad to see that Manchester City may not win it for the 5th time in a row.
Just to get back, before I get to what he said, before the whole schoolboys of Madrid and everything, Madrid have been on poor form. But before we get there, I want to ask, now that it's been blown open, do you fancy maybe Liverpool just running away with the league, or do you fancy an Arsenal side maybe capitalizing and building up, maybe getting the points they need, overtaking Liverpool and winning it? Or do you fancy the billion-pound boys, as they call them, the blue boys, Chelsea, sneaking in from behind and just snatching it at the end of the season? I mean, it's open right now. The top 5, anyone could grab it.
Regarding Chelsea, are you talking about present billionaire?
We're talking about the billion boys.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, the present Chelsea are red hot right now.
No, see, look, I'll get to Chelsea because Enzo Maresca has been fantastic. Nobody is disputing that. I, for one, will not dispute that. I've always been singing the praises of Chelsea, talking about the fact that Chelsea have the potential to be a killer squad, to have a killer squad. That one is certain. And having a manager like Enzo Maresca, fantastic. But I'll say this, and I'll respond to what KP is saying right now. You know, let's not get ahead of ourselves. First of all, I think the biggest winners in this whole title race, which is still too early. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. The biggest winners have to be the neutrals.
Okay.
Neutrals, and let no neutral lie to you. The neutrals are enjoying the capitulation that Man City are going through at the moment. Because Man City are in danger of turning the Premier League to a farmers' league. When you think about a farmers' league, think about what Bayern Munich used to do
in the Bundesliga,
which they seem to start doing in the French League, you know, and what Juve were doing for a period of time in the Italian Serie A until some people decide to have sense. So really, I think it's a case of Man City having a very, very poor period, and then teams ready to capitalize on them. Now, Liverpool find themselves at top spot. I will not go ahead of myself to say that Liverpool are running away with this title because we've heard this story before. We've read this memo before. Arsenal were in such a position some time ago, I think 2 seasons ago, until they folded up because they were not used to that pressure. Liverpool themselves were in this same position. Look, let's not forget, last season, Liverpool were in this same position. Liverpool, in fact, go and check the statistics. Liverpool spent the highest number of weeks on top of the log last season. So they were the butlers last season under Jurgen Klopp. Now, Arne Slot has done a fantastic job. Nobody is eating that. But Liverpool, did you watch that game against Southampton? There are red flags that are there. Did you watch the game against Real Madrid? While we're singing their praises, now, I'm happy that they're doing a good thing. But while we're singing their praises, let's not forget that Real Madrid were injury-stricken.
Yeah.
Real Madrid were missing some key players.
Yeah.
They missed Vinicius Jr., they missed Rodrigo Goes. They were not incisive up front. And we know the lack of chemistry between Jude Bellingham and Kylian Mbappe. We know about that. It's there. So Madrid, if you just isolate 1 or 2 games and then claim that Liverpool are running away with it, then that means you probably don't understand the dynamics of football. They're in a good place.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Very good place. On top of the log in the UEFA Champions League. The only team that's unbeaten in the Champions League, no doubt about that. But when the chickens come home to roost, we will know who is who at the end of the day. Because those other teams that you mentioned, Arsenal are in the mix. Man United, I know you're a Man United fan. United, well, their season will come. Not this season, maybe not next season, but they're in a rebuilding process. No this and no peace. But coming to Arsenal Football Club, with the return of Martin Odegaard, coming to Chelsea, who have enjoyed red-hot form recently.
I mean, there's a rejuvenation going up at the club.
A serious rejuvenation there. Everybody is playing, okay, well, apart from Reece James, I'll be right back. That's what we call him. He's gone out again, now out for the rest of the year. But no, that notwithstanding, Chelsea seem to be finding a mix. Everybody is doing their job. They want to play for
Maresca. Be finding this chemistry.
Wow,
synergy.
Yeah, a counter to what you have just said is, Madrid, injury streaky, Southampton, there were red flags, but you can only beat what's in front of you, and Liverpool are doing that at the moment. Other teams have failed to do that. Arsenal, Odegaard was injured and they dropped points. It's nobody's business at the end of the season. Who was injured, who was not injured, who was playing, who was not playing. So what I'm just praising Liverpool for right now, say, they are beating who is in front of them. And if they go ahead another step and beat Manchester City this weekend, most people will say, it's wraps, the league is over. So, I won't agree with them saying the league is over. The distance will be much.
I don't want to ask this question because this is what every fan will be wanting to hear.
Yeah.
are Liverpool going to join Tottenham and own Manchester this season? Because, I mean, Tottenham have beat both Manchester and City. Liverpool have beat United. Are they going to beat City as well?
I seriously doubt it. Let me tell you why I doubt it. Because let me say this in advance before I forget. This game smells of a draw to me. A score draw, not a goalless draw. Because you can't accuse Man City of not scoring.
I do fancy a 2-2 draw, actually.
Yeah, something along those lines. A 2-2 draw, 1-1 draw, maybe even a 3-1 draw. We might see a goal first. Yeah, we might see a goal first. And that's what we enjoy seeing in the world of football. Because Man City will be playing this for pride. Unless you want Guardiola to look like
the Hobbit.
like a Hobbit, yeah. But the truth of the matter is Manchester City know what's involved. And let's not look at Tottenham Hotspur are simply Spursy. If you look at that result, Tottenham Hotspur traditionally, under Pep Guardiola, have had
more
wins against Manchester City. That's Pep's Man City than any other side. They are the bogey team. You know, every team, no matter how good you are, you have that one team that gives you nightmares. And Tottenham Hotspur were that team. They have been that team. Remember, they went to the Etihad last season. Did what very few teams did. They picked points. And then, of course, Arsenal fans will say that they threw away the league deliberately so that Arsenal will not win at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. But that you can't use that to determine that Liverpool will go to will welcome them to Anfield and then run riots over them. No. That's not the way Pep does. Wow. Pep might even sit back and do something that's unorthodox and then get a win.
Well, I do want to take a look at the table as it is right now. The fixture list rather for this weekend's fixtures. I want to know what is going down. We've got the big game, Liverpool, Man City. We've got Chelsea versus Aston Villa. We've got Brighton, Southampton, which will be played.
Was
played yesterday. Brentford, Leicester, Crystal Palace, Newcastle. That's the results from the Brighton game yesterday. We've got Nottingham Forest versus Ipswich, Wolves, Bournemouth, West Ham hosts Arsenal, the Blues host Villains, Man United hosts Everton, Spurs take on Fulham, and Liverpool, Man City, the big game coming on the 1st of December. What a way to usher the Christmas period.
Fantastic.
I do want to ask this.
Yeah.
No Rodri, no parties. That's still the logo that is going on at City. Or would this City side be able to bounce back? I'm throwing the question open to everyone.
Yeah. I wanted to add that to what Mr. Sisi has already said, because I do agree with him. I don't think Liverpool are going to win this game. I don't think Man City are going to win the game. But it's football. Anything could happen. But what I'll be looking at is this. Most times Pep Guardiola is accused of overthinking things. Oh, this guy is not here. He's going to try and put 10 defensive midfielders to cover up for Rodri. Because I've seen him try to use Rico Lewis and Gundogan in that position to cover up. And it has not been working so far. And what I would like to say is I would like Arne Slot to take a leaf out of Jurgen Klopp's book. Arne Slot is a very conservative manager. If you watch his approach to the game, he just plays the possession game. He doesn't go full throttle. But I think if there's any time to go full throttle against Manchester City, it's now. And I think Sunday, if he does that, we may see a result that none of us are expecting because Liverpool have the players to do that. They have the players to blow any team away at Anfield. And I would love to see the game. The game is going to be an interesting one for all of us to watch. But my prediction is a score draw, 2-2.
Your predictions?
No, likewise, the score draw, 2-2. You can't underestimate the Rodri effect. No Rodri, no party. You could say, no Rodri, but yes party. Depending on which side you're
Well, I do go for a 3-3 draw. I don't know. I see it as a 6-goal thriller.
But one of the major keys to success that Man City have enjoyed in recent years, and this is not just about the Rodri era. Yeah. Man City are skilled at the dark arts in the midfield. Remember before Rodri, there was a Fernandinho.
Yeah.
Once you have that kind of player that breaks up that play, that just prevents the opponents from playing football, that's one of their go-to. But when you don't have a natural, like Kovacic is a fantastic player, but he's more of a central midfielder. Yeah. To me,
he can't play back.
Rico Lewis, yes, he can't do that. Look, Gundogan is a central, at most times a central attacking midfielder. He's known for his guile, his craft, not necessarily his graft. That's where Rodri comes in. So really, I think Rodri's miss is massive. And for me, I stand corrected, unless Pep is very, very arrogant. Generally, the general transfer window can't come too soon because he will need to show up that.
There are rumors that they'll be looking at Zubimendi at Real Sociedad. They'll be trying to enter the race with Real Madrid for Zubimendi's signature at January, but that's still yet to be seen.
Good luck to winning him away because Zubimendi has made it clear that He loves
Real
Real
Sociedad. He loves the Basque team.
Remember there was a battle, that midfield where I had Mikel Merino and Zubimendi, and there was a choice of who wanted to go, who was supposed to leave. Both of them were on the table, but they were holding back and not wanting to go. It was only because Mikel Merino made his mind up and said, look, I need to move. I need to join the Arsenal party. And it will be much more difficult for him to leave in January.
I do want to say this, and yes, look at me closely. Back off the win of Liverpool against Southampton, or the 4-0 defeat at Etihad, which is their biggest defeat at the Etihad since in a long while. Who is going to take it on Sunday? Do you go for Liverpool? Do you go for City? Who knows? Well, we need to go on to the La Liga, and it has been thrown open. My dear old Barca have dropped in form a bit, if we could say, and now it's looking dimmer as the lead has been reduced to just 4 points, with Madrid having a game in hand with Valencia over the whole flooding case and everything. If Madrid do win that game, it will just be the 1 point that separates the two sides. And happy birthday to Barcelona. It's never too late to say that. They just celebrated their 125th birthday yesterday as a club. But I do need them to focus on the football now. They need to be red hot. I want to ask, has Flick and his boys gotten too comfortable that they've dropped the form, or is the focus still on winning the league and going far in the Champions League?
Every team and every player, for that record, for that fact, enjoys a purple patch every now and then. And some have extended purple patches. Some have a few, maybe very, very little break between the purple patches. And that's how you know champions. Sorry, how you know champions. Now, Hansi Flick is a fantastic manager. We've seen what he's done. He's one of the few managers in the world of football that won the Continental Treble. We saw that in 2020. He did that with Bayern Munich in 2020. And he has some of the goods. At least one of the key people that led that charge is under his watch. Again, Robert Lewandowski. No, Leva is there too. And really, I think Hansi Flick's brilliance as a manager it can't be overstated, because many people expected him to just settle down and then understand La Liga. I don't even know how well he speaks Spanish. That's another thing. So he settled in there, and then you find out that he's doing a good job. So dropping points and then blowing the title race wide open is not particularly his fault. It's just because there is a Real Madrid in the mix, defending champions. And then the other teams that are there, like Atletico Madrid, are still in the mix too. So really, I think they are the favorites. Everybody knows that they are the favorites. But Madrid are still in the record. I know you won't swallow that very well. Just calm down.
It is a hard pill to take, but I mean, it is football. It happens. Sometimes you're running away with the league, sometimes you're not. But I do want to ask you, KP, do you think this Barca side could do enough to just keep themselves at the top come the end of the season? Or do you see maybe the defending champions overtaking them? Or a shock for maybe Atletico Madrid just pulling out the surprise and blowing everyone away? I mean, you can never discount the Atletico boys.
I love Atletico Madrid, I just have to say that. But I think it's going to be too much for them this season. But with Barcelona, what I would say is, as you said, there was a purple patch. And I think what happened that time is that most football fans overrated Barcelona. It's not that they're not a quality side. It's not that as if they're not the best in Europe, but we saw them almost in the light, and we saw the MSN team doing what they're going to put 6 past you today. They're going to put 8 past you tomorrow. And I just think that this was, a reality check. Everybody needs to calm down. They're still the best side in La Liga right now, but it's not going to be that easy at all, because their team, in La Liga, I don't think anybody can ever go unbeaten. Reason, there are teams like Real Sociedad that are going to do it. There are teams like Valencia, like Villarreal that are going to just shock you one day out of the blue. So I just feel, at this point, I like that the title race is wide open. Madrid may find it a bit difficult now without Vinicius Jr. for the next few weeks. Yes, Rodrigo may be back, but Mbappe has not shown us enough at all. So, Barca are still in the driving seat, and we'll just have to watch and see.
I just want to say something over injuries, and I want to throw this question to Mr. Sisi. Barca too have some injuries. We've got Ter Stegen will be out for a year now. You've got Marc Bernal, who is also going to be out for a year injury as well. But we do have some positive information coming that you've got Yamal coming back. He's available for the next game, as well as Ferran Torres. And drum rolls, please. The big man in defense is back. Ronald Araujo is back and fit to play for Barcelona. I know many Barca fans will be happy to hear that. We've missed our Iron Man in the defense. But I do want to get this thought from you, Mr. Sisi. Do you think with these key players coming back, maybe Barca could get themselves back in the driving seat? Okay, yes, we've dropped points. Now we need to focus on how to extend the lead again. Irregardless of what Madrid do, whether they win their matches, they draw, or they lose, we need to just focus on the point. What are your thoughts now? What do you think Flick could be doing to get this men back on track?
No, I think first of all, though, they've been out for quite a while, and it's a good piece of news. It's good to have them back. They are part of the setup. They are part of what Barca have been enjoying lately. You look at someone like Lamine Yamal. He's the wonder kid. The people call him the heir. The real deal. That's what I mean.
The heir to the throne of Lionel Messi.
We have many Messi lights over the years. Think of Bojan Krijic.
Got Asun Fati, who was one of the recents.
Yeah, so many of them, the Messi frauds and so on and so forth. But it might just be the real deal. Might.
Blessed by the apostle himself.
Yeah. But really, when you check it very well, he's a very, very valuable addition to the team. But I'm looking more defensively because Barca are known for their offensive abilities. They scored 42 goals in the La Liga this season. For crying out loud. So they've outscored every other team by a country mile. Defensively, if you can succeed in pegging Barca back, then they might just have a problem. That's the thing, because attack is the best form of defense. That's the school of thought that Johan Cruyff brought to Barca. Remember, that philosophy that Barca have in their football right now was imported by Johan Cruyff, the late Johan Cruyff, which he picked from his Ajax days when he played under Messi'S. So really, it's something that you have to check, and then you notice that the defenders coming back might just strengthen things. Pau Gubasi has done a very, very good job alongside Inigo Martinez. But with Ronald Araujo coming back, he adds a bit more steel and experience to that back line if they can really get the act right. Because, and I'm sorry to say this, well, am I really sorry to say this? But let me just say
Don't be sorry.
The best centre-back that Barcelona Football Club have had since the days of Puyol, Carlos Puyol. I mean, when I say the best centre-back, I mean the most competent centre-back that Barcelona have had since the days of Carlos Puyol was not even a centre-back. It was a defensive midfielder, Javi Mascherano. So it's an indictment on the innate abilities, defensive abilities of most of the defenders that Barca have had. And that's what, Hansi Flick needs to do.
This actually leads me to my next question. I want to address this to you, KP. Now Araujo is back. Are we seeing an Inigo dropping the bench? Or, because he's been red hot this season. There's been a pair to break down this season. Pau Gubasi is an animal. Let's just call it what it is. The man was injured, but yet still delivered. He went off with bruises against, Zeda? And he was scarred all over his face, but he came back the next game ready with a mask.
What I'll say is, I think we have to go into the mind of Hansi Flick to know what's going to happen next. Some coaches may do something like that and throw him right into the mix, drop Inigo Martinez, and nothing will happen. But I think we just look at the situation with Ter Stegen, Iñaki Peña, and bringing in Wojciech Szczesny. Szczesny has been on the bench almost since they arrived, and most fans predicted that he was going straight into the lineup because they were not comfortable with Iñaki Peña being number one for Barcelona. But he has still been between the sticks. Some people have speculated that they are waiting for him to make a mistake, so there will be valid reason to drop him. We may see the same thing with Inigo Martinez and Ronald Araujo. I don't think he's going to be thrown into the mix immediately. We have seen a bit of a drop of form from Inigo Martinez of late. I think he's not playing how he was playing at the beginning of the season, but time will tell what Hans Flick is going to do.
I do share the same opinions with KP. I don't think Flick will just throw in the boss and maybe throw Araujo just straight to the jungle. I think he will give it time, watch how he progresses on the training field, then see if he could outpass Inigo on the training ground to merit that first thing. But I do want to go straight to the Serie A, another tight affair. Napoli seem to be not giving up on that first place. Who could blame them? They've missed out on Europe this season. Their only focus is to win the league. But they do have Atalanta chasing them red hot. They do have Inter chasing them. I won't get your thoughts. Inter were first at some point, then dropped after Napoli's win. Then Atalanta climbed, then dropped. It seems like it's those three that are just taking turns at the first place. Who do we see? Because I think come the end of the season, let's be honest, those are the three that will be looking at to win the title. I know it's too early, but who will we say has given enough to win the title this season? Is it the Napoleons? Are we going with the Atalanta side? Or Milan boys are going to just keep the reputation up and seal it again?
I think it's, like we said, it's too early to say. This is after 13 games, and then getting into match week 14. And to be told, I would wager, if I'm a wagering kind of person, that one of the three teams that will win the Italian Serie A has to be one of these three. That's Napoli, who are on top of luck for now, or Atalanta, or Inter. Atalanta, a big ask. They've not found themselves in that position for a very, very long time. In fact, have they? I don't think they have.
Forever.
Forever. They have players.
I mean, there's a first time for everything,
Yeah, and Ademola Lookman is integral to that.
Red hot. I mean, Super Eagles boy.
But when you talk, and I would love that. But let's call it spade a spade. The Nerazzurri, they're defending champions, and they've lost just one game, which is less than every other team, including the ones above them. That is Napoli, the Neapolitans, and Atalanta have won. So really, if I'm going to be very, very honest, this is not taking a dig at the Rossoneri, that's AC Milan, or the Bianconeri, that's Juventus. I think any other one, they can collect their titles, their aspirations from someone else. I'm not endorsing them, because really the only ones that could spoil the party, if there is a miracle that will happen, will be Juve or Milan. But the other teams that are there, that are on the top three, forget about Fiorentina. They don't even have a goal for a chance. But when you check it very well, I think it's down to these two teams. It's down to the last two winners of the Italian Serie A. That is Napoli. And the reason Napoli may just be in the mix, the reason Napoli may, and that's a big may, the only reason they may win this is because of who's at the helm. Antonio Conte. Conte is a man that is driven. Conte is a man that's very ambitious. He's a serial winner. He has this thing about domestic titles. He has this thing about winning things. And I think it's unprecedented. He also looks at records. He's driven by records. It helps that he's my birthday means July 31st. So, but he's driven by records. He's driven by records. And, remember, Conte has won the Italian Serie A with two different clubs. Yeah. Juventus, multiple times, and then Inter. I don't think, if my memory serves me right, any manager in the history of the Italian Serie A has won the Serie A with Scudetto with three different clubs. I don't think it has happened. That is one thing that Antonio Conte has.
Will be chasing down.
They're chasing. Inter will definitely be there to try to spoil the party, because they are very formidable. They have some of the most dangerous players available. Lautaro Martinez is still who he is. We'll talk about that as we move on. It pains me when I mention Lautaro Martinez for a reason. We'll get to that.
Well, I mean, it is very tight at the top of the table there, and I mean, you still said it. Juve could still be in the mix come the end of the table season. You've still got Milan, who's there. I mean, we've got boys like Tammy getting this new life to them this season. You've got Leao, we've got Pulisic, Captain America, shooting on all guns. Mm-hmm. We've got the Napoleons red hot on the top. We've got Atalanta, driven by our Super Eagle boy, Ademola Lookman, and we've got the Inter boys. But okay, let's move on to the Bundesliga now. Last season, was it a one-season wonder from Leverkusen? Because I mean, they've not lived up to expectation this season.
I think it's reversing to type. With the sole exception of last season, it's safe to say, you could say there's some things in life are constant, like rain, taxes, and then Bayern winning the Bundesliga. Then, of course, Xabi Alonso had other plans, and he did something that was unprecedented. Nobody, and I repeat, I challenge you to tell me, nobody saw it coming. Nobody saw Bayern Leverkusen, who were prior to that season called Bayern Leverkusen. Remember in 2002, when they lost every single title that was up for grabs, they lost the Champions League, Bundesliga, to the same Bayern Munich. They lost the UEFA Champions League in the final to that Zidane wonder goal 2002 when Michael Ballack was there. They lost the Pokal. So they were just, it was haunting them. Last season, nobody saw them do what they did. So you commend them for that. Commend Xabi Alonso. But it's reverting to type. And I think it's safe to say that Tottenham Hotspur curse will be broken as far as Harry Kane is concerned.
Yeah, I was getting to that because I want to ask KP just before we go on a quick break here. Harry Kane potentially about to win his first trophy. Potentially. We do hope, we do pray. We do pray that the curse is broken, because I mean, it's been a whole lot of years of misery. Yeah. And so as Kane is concerned. But I want to ask, is it a case of back to default for Leverkusen? Most people say, okay, maybe it's a one-season stuff. Do you see it as a case of back to default, or they just had a drop in quality this season.
When you said they are not living up to expectation, I wanted to counter them because I'll say, whose expectation will we call it? Because this is my expectation of what they were meant to do, or are meant to do this season. I knew if they won the league last season, they didn't make much signings. They just made like mid-player signing, average, good players, decent players. So it's not as if they were saying, okay, we want to challenge again. We just want to be around there. They want to be a UCL team now. That's almost the best you could do because you don't have the competing power and the spending power that Bayern Munich do have. So I think that Xabi Alonso is doing a very good job with the players he has right now. He has already won the cup. He has won the league for them
Quickly
already.
Before
So what
the
else?
break, I do have to ask this, and it's important I do ask this. Bayern, the form is shifting when it comes to the Champions League. It's not the same as the Bundesliga. They are on top of the Bundesliga. But when it comes to the Champions League, you've got to search and keep scrolling before you see them on the log. I mean, what's the mix-up here? Are we having them focusing on just the league this season?
Well, first of all, when you're scrolling, we won't, at least thank God, we won't get to the cookies before we find them. But I think it's just a case of priorities. Well, I could be wrong in that because Bayern are a traditional superpower. They are giants. They are the joint third most successful team in Europe, alongside Liverpool, 6 European Cups, Champions League inclusive. So they're always in the mix. And one of the major reasons they're always in the mix is because they always qualify. They almost always win. So really, it's just a one-off. Barca winning them 4-1 was one major issue. But still, let's keep our fingers crossed. They will still be in the mix.
We do have to go on a quick commercial break. Right after that, we'll be jumping straight into the Champions League, the Europa League, and the Europa Conference League. Stay tuned for more action on Npfl Sport Show. We'll be right back. Alright, welcome back to the Npfl Sport Show. I still remain your priest of football, Mekamadoko, aka Famelo, and I'm still with CC the Rabbi and KP, who thinks he's him. And we have to jump straight into Europe now, what's happening. And UEFA Champions League is hot at the top of the table. The top 8 seem to have really tried to solidify themselves in that position. And of course, Liverpool do sit on top of the Champions League table. We've got Inter following them red hot. We've got Barca in third. We've got other couple of teams there. But I want to ask, leave the Liverpool sides, leave the Barca, the Inter. Which team in the top 8 has really shocked you this season? I'm asking you, KP.
Has really shocked me. I'll say with the new format, the only team that I'm surprised to see in the top 8 is Monaco. And they're hanging on to the 8th position with their life. But I'll say this is what makes this format interesting. It's also sad for me a bit because I'm saying, okay, maybe a team like PSG may not make it to the next round, but I think
it's of their own doing.
Yes, it's of their own doing, but I'll still like to see them in the knockout phase. But it's really refreshing to see that
they could still make it.
There are no dead games in this format. Every game is important, and it's lovely to see. It's surprising to see where Real Madrid is.
It's surprising to see where City is, actually.
It's a lovely one, actually.
Fine margins, because if you check it very well, Real Madrid, who are 24th on the log, which is quite strange because they are the defending champions.
Yeah.
So Real Madrid are 25th on the log there, and then Paris Saint-Germain, that's PSG, are just
25th.
behind them. 25th. So, but if you there are 3 games to go.
Yeah.
And I think that should be about
9 points.
4 points off the top 8. So there are 4 points up for grabs, which means if they go on a run and try to get the points for the 3 games, that's 9 points. Work on getting the maximum points or getting a sizable portion of those points. And I hope that the teams above you drop. Well, that's where hope comes in. You do your best. I think it's still within their powers to finish in the top 8, even though finishing in the top 24 is still a big chance for them to
the playoffs and all.
Yes.
But I do want to ask, it's not looking good for some sides like Leipzig and Girona, who would have probably hoped of having a playoff spot this season. I mean, they've been poor this season to watch. I mean, nobody would have predicted maybe that red hot Girona side, who was giving the whole league a run for its money last season, finishing third. Nobody would have expected them to.
I'm throwing the question to you. I'm throwing the question to you. Would you have predicted Girona to be there?
Well, I mean, I will have maybe put them in a 24th or 23rd spot.
Let me
That's what I
say
think.
clearly,
Okay.
Girona, sorry, KP, Girona, and take that to the bank. Girona are a one-season wonder. Period. That's what they are. That's what they've been. And they did very well in the Spanish La Liga last season, punching above their weight. But they are a flash in the pan. Reality has set in.
We do need to look at some key games that went over the weekend. I mean, there were key games against Liverpool, like Liverpool and Real Madrid. We got, those are the fixtures right there. Milan doing the job over Blaisvelia. We've got Atleti, the 6-0 away from home. Of courtesy to the Spider-Man, as they say, Julian Alvarez, getting the brace there. We do have Brest, who lost sadly to Barcelona at the Moji.
Normal.
Normal. There were some jokes over the weekend over that.
Yeah.
Bayern doing the job over PSG with the 1-0. Inter, 1-0 winners over Leipzig. Leverkusen pulping Salzburg 5-0. Feyenoord pulling off the impossible comeback, which made Pep Guardiola have some moments of insanity, scratching himself out there. I mean, they led 3-0, then 3-3.
After 75 minutes.
After 75 minutes, which was crazy.
No other team in the Champions League history has done that.
We got Sporting, who fell short to Arsenal, thinking they could do the same against Arsenal after beating City 4-1. A lot of pundits will have said, oh, City fell, maybe Arsenal could fall as well. But that wasn't the story at the end of the day. We got Zeta beating Stuttgart 5-1. And I do have to say this, not be by who rushed score first. Not be by who rushed score first. Because I always call it, Stuttgart rushed and scored on the 5th minute. And here's how the results turned out.
They touched the tiger by the tail. That's what happened.
Villa and Juventus 0-0. Graus winning Girona, which was a bit of a shock there because we thought it could maybe be in favor of Girona or maybe a draw at the end of the day, but no. Lille beating Bologna, Celtic 1-1 with Bruges. After the bizarre own goal from K.F. Vickers, I mean, that was one to watch. Then was Ziegler falling short to Dortmund 3-0. Bruno Gittins, another player to watch out for. I mean, he's been on fire this season. Real Madrid losing to Liverpool at Anfield 2-0, courtesy to captain McAllister. And Monaco losing shortly to Benfica, the key man in that team, Angel Di Maria, with 2 assists on the night, and PSV winning Shakhtar. That's how this week's results went actually. And I do want to ask, is there any team that could be pulling off a shock? Like we're saying, it's still open for every team to get themselves into where they need to be. Do you see maybe a UA side dropping below the playoffs? Do you see maybe a Aston Villa breaking into the top 8? Or Juve breaking into the top 8? Madrid breaking in? PSG? What are your thoughts going on for the remainder of the 3 games in the Champions League?
You know, the good thing about this Champions League format for this season is that the air of unpredictability is rife. It's something that everybody knows that they have one shot. You know, the former format had the home and away setting and everything. You know, if you're not able to get the right result at home, you can at least try to go away and then pull off something, and then vice versa. But this time around, you get just one shot against a team. You will not face that team again. So that means you've got to be at the top of your game to do that. And I think most of the teams here have read the memo, and some probably did not. Maybe they underestimated teams ahead of them and then put themselves down. But I think it's a case of wanting it more than others. So there are teams that will still get to where they should get to.
Just quickly, for the want of time, let's brush over the Europa League and the Conference League. I mean, Man U did pull off a late win against Bodo Glimt. It could have been a draw, but Sir Amiron, as KP would like to say, was able to save the boys on the last minute there. I mean, there were goals from Garnacho, there were goals from
Russell
Holman with 2 goals, I mean, that were an assist. Great performance from him right there. Tottenham had quite a scare there against Roma. At some point, it was 1-1. Then Roma took the lead, goal was cancelled. Then they took the lead with the 2-1. Then Ajax lost to Sociedad on the day. That was, well, a mix-up there. I mean, Ajax were on top of the game for most of the first 15 minutes. And that was more of a mix-up there. Roma getting the late equalizer for the 2-2 there. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. Fenerbahce winning Malmo. And let's just jump straight into the Conference League. The blue water job boys, the billion bound boys, as they say, Chelsea, sitting on top of the Conference League with a 100% record. I mean, they beat FC Heidenheim, the German Bundesliga side, 2-0. A late red card in the game for Caicedo there. I mean, loss of concentration, I guess, from him. But that's how the Conference League is shaping out this season. Is anyone catching up to Chelsea? Is anyone going to beat them this season?
No surprises. Chelsea are a shark in the creek as far as this competition is concerned. So, I mean, no surprises at all. Chelsea are expected to just run away with this. There could be surprises. There could be. But, you know, that's the possibility. The possibility of other teams winning is there. But the probability, I don't think so.
And just before we reach the end of the show, the FIFA nominations for the best has come out. And we had quite a few names come out there. We saw the likes of Bellingham, Vinicius, we've got Mbappe, Yamal at such a young age making the FIFA The Best nominations. We've got Lionel Messi in the mix. The fixtures, the assets will be coming up shortly, but I do want to ask, any surprises for the nominations there? We've got Kane, we've got Rodri, we've got Cruz, Cargaval, Haaland, Witz. Any surprises there?
Yeah, big surprise. What is Messi doing there when Lautaro Martinez is not there? That's one. Another thing, of course, I'm not going to stoke the fires of the rivalry between Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo, but Inter Miami have done a good job. I understand. What have they been doing? What has Cristiano Ronaldo been doing? So, I mean, these are the conversations, and I don't think FIFA is helping themselves by trying to change that narrative of themselves being, having a soft spot for Lionel Messi. Lionel Messi has been accused of being the poster boy for FIFA, and this consolidates that accusation. That's what I think.
Many pundits who have that same opinion as you. Some would like to disagree and say he has merited it. Those are the opinions in football. But I do want to quickly go to the World Cup rankings, and it's not looking so nice for our dear Super Eagles as they have dropped in rank. They have dropped down to 44th in the world. And those are the top 30 there. We've got Argentina, France, Spain, England, Brazil, Portugal, Netherlands, Belgium, Italy, Germany, Uruguay, Colombia, Croatia, Morocco, the highest ranked African side in the world right now. We've got Japan, we've got US, we've got Senegal, the second highest ranked African side. We've got, right there. So
Denmark, I think.
No, we've got, that should be Iran, right?
Mexico.
Mexico,
Mexico.
Then we've got our African countries, the rankings of their highest, as I said, is Morocco, followed by Senegal, Egypt, then Algeria, then Nigeria, Cote d'Ivoire, Cameroon, Mali, Tunisia, South Africa, and we have to go down before we find our dear old West African brothers, Ghana. What's happening? I mean, they've been the ones always throwing the banters around, but where are they on the world rankings?
They're strangely silent, but I don't really place too much value.
Well,
I'm not on.
Sadly, our time is up, and we do have to draw the curtains here. It's been a pleasure, Sisi Divide by KP. It's always been a pleasure. I remain your priest of football, Emeka Madeko, aka Femelo. Join us every Saturday for more insightful thoughts on the Afia Sport Show. Stay blessed. Bye.